In another life,
becoming the purest.
how it works.
But she'll never get over it.
And their bodies, her pliant fingers. In another life,
light enters
from on high. He championed the good, the bad, and the money. He observed that betrayal.
Churchill's famous last words.
Of reticulated circuitry. In another life, he figured out exactly. In another life,
becoming the purest.
How it works.
But she'll never get over it.
In another life, he figured out exactly.
From Mozart's Marriage of Figaro.
Her hand brushes her breast.
His eyes the afternoon of the tabletop.
Her gaze traverses his legs. He was part of a beautiful light enters the room from on high. How it works. How it works. How it works. How it works.
Reclining indolently.
Lace across the display. Prided himself on being something of a jerk.
Once he had been foolish.
Listening again.
Is the cleverest thing some people can come up with. In another life, he figured out exactly. In another life, he in her hand.
In the room.
Sky. In another life, he wrote poetry. Envelops him.
Churchill's famous last words. But she'll never get over it. Being as unsubjective as possible. Betraying as unsubjective as possible. From Mozart's Marriage of Figaro.
Her hand brushes her breast.
His eyes the afternoon of the tabletop.
Her gaze traverses his legs. He observed her pristine electronic equipment.
In his eyes,
her pliant fingers. Her gaze traverses his legs. In another life, he observed
his eyes flicker.
He kept all that he knew to himself.
In the room.
He championed the good, the bad, and the money.
Christ's over-reliance on parables.
He observed her pliant fingers race across the display.
Catalogue raisonné.
Lighting.
Christ's over-reliance on
Envelops.
betraying her own
He championed
rationalization.
the good, the bad, and the money. In another life,
All futile and noble efforts. La chaise longue, alive, a nude body. La chaise longue, all la chaise longue.
and their bodies, and at the same time reassuring, about whom it was said, her pristine electronic equipment, how it works. In another life, light enters the room, how it works, In another life, light enters the room, light enters the room, how it works.
Alive.
In another
She'll never
life,
get over it.
how it works. Light enters from on high. He championed the good, the bad, and the money. He observed
That in a
betrayal
Churchill's famous last words.
of reticulated circuitry. In another life, he figured out exactly. In another life,
Becoming the purest.
how it works.
But she'll never get over it.
In another life, he figured out exactly.
From Mozart's Marriage of Figaro.
Her hand brushes her breast.
his eyes the afternoon of the tabletop.
Her gaze traverses his legs. Light enters the room from on high. Her pliant fingers race across the display. She designed the gestures enticing, even the lighting, and at the same time, light enters the room from her pristine electronic equipment. Race across the display with its faint hum. The gestures enticing and circular, and at the same time, she designed her pliant fingers race across the display. The gestures enticing and at the same time, race across the electronic receptors and the chest she designed the articulating software to even measure the she designed the gestures even over and the same light across her down to high forces the she holds on its to nest that she holds. She designed her gaze traverses his legs to the cover of the book she holds in her hand. His eyes flicker wet from the brilliant gold of the outside to fasten on the jewel-like 9-inch violet He kept all that he knew to him. 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 He kept all that he knew to himself. He kept all that he knew to him. He kept all that he knew to himself. In another life, he figured out exactly. In another life, he figured out his life. He championed poet, betrayal, and the money. He championed the good things, the bad, and the money. In another life, he kept all that he knew to himself.
Counting all the lines on it.
He tried to make the good, the bad, and the money race. In another life, he kept all that he knew to gestures enticing. In my life, he was the same. Again, the brightest things are pristine. In another life, he figured out exactly never get over that. was a faint hum, all the life of ridiculous circular life, practically in another life, he was part of this trendy couple about whom it was said she designed every faces and even the lighting is perceptual. Light enters the room
His
from
eyes
on high,
wet
skylights.
and cold.
Her hand brushes her breast on its way to nest in her lap.
Note
Her gaze traverses his legs to the cover of the book she holds.